Let's put it in solo. So here's our kick drum after the equalization and gating and everything. So we need to add ZeroComp. And here we are. The plugin starts learning the audio. Here we are, sorry. Plugin learns the audio and it's already compressing and ready to work. So by default, it goes with the smooth algorithm, the smooth type of compressor, which is not ideal for drums because it's too slow. Basically, we are based around the three classic compressor that have been in use for ages. So it's a classic optical LA2A, tight, it's a DBX 160, and a FET, it's an 1176. So they are not actual models of those compressor. Here we try to capture the spirit of the type of compression so that you can get 90% there very easily. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to use a little bit of saturation on the kick drum to smooth off the short peaks that may make the compressor work too much. So I will start with around 50%. Since it's an acoustic kick drum, we already have some very complex sound, and we are not going to hear distortion even if I use a lot of saturation. So I will go from here to here. I don't know. Let me try it. Here. Here it's good. If I go here, you hear the distortion. So I dial it back to when the distortion ends, and it seems to me that it's around 40%. Then I will go for the tight model because this kick drum is very boomy. You can hear it if I bypass the plugin. It's very boomy. Boom, boom, on the low end. So I'm gonna try to control it with the tight model. And I'm going to compress 5-6 dBs. Sorry, I probably went too far. Do you know how this compressor works? Have you seen the other video I have put online a couple of days ago? Because otherwise I will explain very briefly how ZeroComp works internally. So just to make sure everybody's on the same boat, basically ZeroComp analyzes a small fraction of your audio, and once it has enough audio, it starts analyzing it, and it first find out the crest factor, which is the difference between the peak level and the RMS level of the signal. And once it has identifies these crests, it can first look at the distance to find out the attack and release time, the optimal attack and release time according to the model you have chosen. And then you can find out the amount of compression to be applied, setting a ratio and threshold automatically so that when the compression is at 0, no compression happens at all. And when it's at maximum, there is enough compression to reduce the dynamic range of the amount of the crest factor. So for drums, you see a much more gain reduction being available with this knob. And for basses, for example, there is less because the crest factor is less than the one with the single shot drums. So this is how it works. And when I tweak this knob, I'm actually tweaking together ratio and threshold so that according to the characteristic of the model, so that we are reducing the crest factor of a given amount. So when it's 100%, we are trying to reduce completely that crest factor, while when we are at 0%, we are not reducing at all, and anything in between. You will see that changing model has a drastic impact on the amount of gain reduction that we can get, because each of these models works in a different way. For example, the tight one we have chosen uses an RMS compressor detector inside, so it doesn't catch the short peaks. That's why I have used the saturation control here to make the model work less and work more on the RMS instead of the peaks that cannot be catched by this type of compression. While the FET is very fast, for example, and it can catch every peak, but it gets a more aggressive compression, and it's not always what we want. I'll let you listen to the difference between these two models on the kick drum. So here is my tight model. And if I switch to fat, I'm going to get a lot more gain reduction. Keep in mind that keeping this knob here, we are asking both models to reduce the dynamic range of the kick drum by around 80%. So if the dynamic range is 6 dB, it's 9 dB, we are reducing that, it's 10 dB, we are reducing it to just 2 dB, or almost trying to do that. But of course, no compression model can work this fast and and be able to completely reduce this dynamic range. This can be done with a brick wall limiter, but it's not the task of a compressor. If you completely reduce the dynamic range, it's going to sound unnatural. But this is a very handy way to find out how much compression you want to make. So I think the fat model is too fast and it's sucking up too much. I should reduce the compression amounts, but still you hear how the kick goes poof, poof, and it sucks out completely after the first attack. I prefer the tight model with a stronger compression. It sounds more natural to me. Around here. Great, now let's move on to the snare drum. I will add once again ZeroComp. It's already ready to learn the audio. Okay, the models are made, and you see with the smooth model, it's very slow, as I already explained you, so it doesn't even move. It's too slow. I think tight is definitely better, and this one compresses too much. I should dial it back. But as you can see, as soon as I touch the compression amounts, it starts compressing too much because it's too fast for this kind of sound. So I will stick with tight and make it work at around 6 dB compression. Just let me add saturation as I did before. I can go much higher with the snare drum because it's already a kind of distorted sound. Okay, so it's already done. Of course, there is a drop in volume because there is no gain compensation inside of ZeroComp. Not for the moment. It's coming with a future update with a switch to enable that. So right now we're gonna compensate manually for the level loss. So I think it's good. It's controlled, it's good. We can move on to the overheads. And let me listen to the overheads. Okay, now we have two choices here. The first choice is to use the smooth model and keep everything compressed all the time to give us more body of the whole kit. But I don't like that because I tend to lose the groove with this. So I prefer to use the tight model here too and try to make it work when the spill of the snare kicks in. I will add a little bit of saturation, just a little bit here, because I don't want to over compress everything and I need the cymbals to breathe, so I will stick around 20%. And as you can see, this is almost right. You don't want to compress too much, otherwise you will lose the cymbals. Just 3 dB or something like that. You hear that using the compressor like this keeps the snare drum, the speed of the snare drum under control and let the cymbals breathe and be more audible in the mix. You see, when the cymbal hits, the compressor release. Have a look here. So they breathe more, and it's just the snare that it's being controlled. So if I put everything together, it's almost good. Okay, now the room mic, which is the one that has to convey the ambience and the overall fatness of the kit. So I will add my ZeroComp. And here we're gonna make a special kind of processing because we want to squash everything out of the room microphone, which has to bring us the ambience on which the kit has been recorded. So I will use the fat model, compressing everything. Switch to the fat, add a lot of saturation and the maximum compression. Hear how it sounds by itself. So we have to add this to the rest of the drums. I will give a little bit more volume to the room. You hear the difference when I mute the room microphone. Everything is dry, and now it gets in the ambience. Now I simply have to tweak these microphones that has not been compressed. I don't like to compress the tom microphones. They are already being EQ'd in pre-production. I don't like to compress them too much because you risk to bring over some spill that has passed through the gates, and when they eat, you get uh, those nasty long tails that are better to be captured by the overheads and the room microphone. And these are spot mics, so they only have to get the attack of the tom, in my opinion. Then what's miss? We need to add another zero comp to the drum bass to make it more glued together. I'm going quite fast. If you have any question, just stop me and I will answer. So no worries. Okay, here the smooth is definitely compressing too much. It may be a good algorithm. Let me try with a little compression because we want to glue together the old drum kit. So we have two options, or go with the smooth one, which keeps everything almost stable. And this is good when you have uh, drums that it doesn't have strong hits because it brings the overall sound out. But in this case, I'm pretty sure that tight will work better because we have a strong kick and strong snare. So let me try it out. You don't want to compress more than 3-4 dBs here because otherwise you are uh, removing too much of the transients and you end up with something that is lifeless. Have a listen. This is lifeless. If I dial it back, I get a more alive sound, but as you can see, this is almost not moving, so we are not getting any groove, any movement from this compressor. I will try the tight model. This breathes more, and in my opinion, it's a better sounding option for this kind of drums. If I go stronger with compression, it starts sucking. And this is not something that we want, so I will dial it back. Something like this. Just a little bit of compression for our bass. So now that we have our drum bass ready, it's time to go to the bass guitar. So let me do a quick balance. So this should be good. And now let me add the compressor. So ZeroComp. And let's start with the bass guitar. We have two options here. Well, three options because both of the three type of compressors can work with the bass. The smooth one, as usual, works better if you have a slow played bass that maybe has some slight difference in volume between notes. and you want to keep the level smooth altogether. Then you have two options, the fat and the tight for this kind of bass, which is more played and it's rhythmic. So we have to try both of them. I suspect that this will work best with tight because as I'm listening, it seems like a little bit of compression has already been used during recording. So I'm not sure this one will work because it probably will be exaggerated. Let me try it out. This definitely brings out the attack, the peaked sound of the bass. I'm not sure this is what I want. It's a style, but I'm I think it's conflicting too much with the drums. So I will move to the tight. You see what I told you? This bass is already compressed. And when we work with the tight, that is a different algorithm than the FET, you get less compression even if you put compression to 100%, because there is less crest factor that this kind of model is able to reduce. But for this application, I think it's the best compromise. I won't add saturation to this sound because the bass can sound very distorted easily. So I won't do it. I want to keep it clean. And I will just adjust the level. Now what? We have a distorted bass on this that, okay, it's layered on top of the other. And I won't compress this because it's a fuzz bass and it's already being compressed by the fuzz itself. It's a layered stereo bass used to complement the EV guitar we are going to add in a while. Now we're going to the guitars. It's heavily distorted guitar. So what we are going to do with this bass is to, since this bass contains all the guitars, the heavily distorted and the more clean that is in the verse, you hear, and this one too. So we're going to add a little bit of compression with ZeroComp just to make sure that there is no big change in level. So let me make the compressor learn the levels. So no, maybe it's better if I make it learn in the verse. Okay. So we want just a little bit of compression. 3 dB. It's not able to even reach it. Okay, so there is not really that crest factor available. So I would stick with the default. I think it's fine. No, maybe it's too much, too much, too much. Okay, because the EV ones are higher in level. So Just a little bit, something like this. Just a bit, otherwise we can lose everything. 11%. I'm trying to use the smooth one because I want to keep under control these distorted guitars that are very smooth. Uh, I can try the tight one, but I don't think it will work the same. No, I already heard that it sucks out and then brings it back. So I want to stay with the smooth. And I will go to 11%, which is the actual first level when it starts compressing. Okay. Maybe the bass, it's a little too, bass, it's a little bit too high in level. Okay, this is our core of the song. So we have drums, bass, and guitars. We have some keyboards. Sorry, you cannot hear any audio. Is that true for everybody? Okay, for some reason the capture stopped. Okay, let me. It's back. I think it's back. It's back. For some reason the capture from the audio stopped. I don't know. Here's what we did to the guitars. So it's just a little bit of compression to keep that under control. I have chosen the smooth model because I want to keep stable all these distorted guitar are always at the same level. So that said, I will add the keyboards because we have a little bit of keyboards and we have an electric piano. So let me add the ZeroComp. It has a little bit of distortion on it. So it's already kind of compressed, but let's see what happens. So I think this is a good candidate for the tight model because it's an arpeggio. You see, since it has some distortion on it, we don't have a lot of dynamic range to work with. So the compression amount does not change that much. This is 0. This is 100%. You see, it's a little bit of, just for the sake of experimentation, if I use the fat model, we don't have much compression with this model too, because as I told you, since it has distortion, the crest is already shaved off. So stick it with the tight, default mode, and I think it's fine. Now let me put it at the right level. The other side maybe. Maybe it's a little bit higher in level. We can fix it, adding a little bit more compression. Okay, like this. Like this, here we are. So let's hear how it sounds in context in the verse. Fine. Now we have some bells. Let's, I don't think I will even work with them because there is no EQ, so probably it's a really marginal part. It's just ambience, so keep them low. Okay, I don't know this synth part where it's gonna kick in. Let me see where it happens. It's in the end here. So let me fix it with ZeroComp. Side model. It's not working at all. Okay. The only model that makes any compression on this very dense synth sound, it's the fat model. Okay. Fine, we have another synth part here. So add ZeroComp here too. It's an overlay to the other synths, but it's more complex, so it has more crest factor. No, this definitely is not good because it's, or the compression amount is wildly moving around. I will stick with a smooth one that guarantee a more stable kind of sound. Okay, so now level. Perfect. So we're done with the scene 2. These are the tracks I'm not going to use. So I'm gonna just stick with this track and work with the last part of the song, which are the vocals. So everything is working right. You have question. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward and pretty fast to mix with this kind of tool. So let me first reset all the levels. So I'm really not sure what's going on here. And let me add the verse. So we have 2 tracks for the verse. But the first part is playing just the first one. So I will go through ZeroComp. So now we have to choose our way of compressing these vocals. We can go aggressive with the fat model, or we can go smooth with the smooth model. So I will try both and see which one I like the most. Honestly, I think that the smooth model works best because these vocals probably has been already compressed during recording. You can hear it because with the start of the words, there is always something that sucks out a little bit of the audio. The K, the S, you hear that there is clearly the sound of a compressor here. Yes, definitely. So I will stick with the smooth one and try to keep the level constant. We don't want to risk losing all the dynamics, so don't overdo that. This is too much. When the vocals start to go in a higher level, we are losing it. Okay, we can try to add a little bit of saturation to get a little bit more aggressive sound. Good. So this is good, and I will just put at the right level. Okay, we don't have any reverb, anything else, any effect. So if I do something that you don't agree with, or you think I should do differently, just let me know. We can have a conversation, something together. So just move now onto the chorus, which is made with these 3 tracks, and I think they are 3 layers. Let me hear the first one. Sorry, it's here. These are exactly a double, and this one is not available here. It's just in the second and third chorus. So let me focus on this one. First, add the first compressor here and let it listen. And the same goes for these vocals, because I will use the smooth one because it's already been compressed in recording, and I will aim for a sane amount of gain reduction just to keep it stable. Okay, this is it, and now we move to the double. And we do the same. Here we are. And the third track is harmonization. So add a compressor here too. Let's learn. The same goes for this other track. It's always the same because they are already being compressed during recording. Okay, and let me make the level. Here we are. And so we got everything. We should just, no, we need the vocal double from the verse. So let me find it out. Here we are. So where is my double? Here. I'm adding ZeroComp here too. As you can see, I've been able to add a lot of instances of ZeroComp because it's very light.
Musica sì, ma quando fa la mignotta mi piace la musica sì, ma quando sprigiona fotta che si interseca la lotta, allora davvero c'è un motivo per sputare il fiato dalla bocca.
So this is low. This is one octave below the main part. So I'm going to compress it because I want to keep it very stable. Otherwise, the low notes may create mud. So this is what I'm going to do. I have quite a bunch of compression.
Ma quando fa la mignotta mi piace la musica sì, ma quando sprigiona fotta che si interseca la lotta, allora davvero c'è un motivo per sputare il fiato dalla bocca. Ricavare un insegnamento a onde sonore, credimi amico, ti colpisce dritta al cuore, ti scalda come un liquore, fautore del vero alcol, come quei fumetti disegnati dal solito illustratore. Il discografico fa il pianificatore, la banconota asciuga il sudore ma non toglie l'odore, venditore del tuo ego ormai sei.
Okay, here we are. So from the beginning, oh wait, we need to do our master bus compression. We have two options here. Do it before the EQ or after the EQ. Usually on the master bus, I prefer to do it before. So I will start ZeroComp, move it before my EQs, and let it start to analyze the audio in a very dense part, which is the chorus. Tight model, because the smooth one may work, but not in this case. Well, it depends. If you want to have a whole impact, a whole level sound impact, go with the smooth one. If you want a tight, more tight and groovy sound, go with the tight. I will try both. I feel that with the smooth model, I'm losing the kick drum, so I will stick with the tight. Okay, here we are. This is our final mix made with ZeroComp and, of course, Total EQ Mark II that was ready, and 31 Mark II that was ready on the tracks. So I can play it for you and let me know what you think about it.
Una canzone che ti fa pensare, una vittoria per chi la scrive, ma anche per chi la sa ascoltare, un'idea da seminario, comune denominatore, come una redistribuzione sociale della ricchezza, fanculo la la bellezza non riflette la vita per chi vive ancora in questa fortezza. L'unica certezza, la voglio dura e grezza, lascia stare la carezza, vai di scorreggia arpeggia, che tanto affari fini, non sei mai sinceri, mai seri, meglio una drag queen di tutti sti uomini veri, tutti trap killer, fate merda bellita con le scintille a mille, non fa presa sulle orecchie ma sulle pupille, come Mila Jovovich, ultraviolet card swimmer, non siamo vecchi bianco e nero, Jessica Alba tranquille. Cari, 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 ma più forte non andrai, il tuo destino è una scommessa persa, la sai, se guardi dall'alto vedi solo.
If for the sake of experimentation we want to remove ZeroComp now, we can do it by passing all the instances of ZeroComp, and this is what happens.
Una canzone, la voglio dura e
Of course, the
grezza,
level
lascia stare la
are all the
carezza, vai di
way
scorreggia
around.
arpeggia, che tanto affari fini, non sei mai sinceri, mai seri,
Of course,
meglio una
everything
drag
breaks
queen di tutti sti
and it
uomini
doesn't work
veri,
anymore.
cari, ma più forte non andrai, il tuo destino è una scommessa persa, la sai, se guardi dall'alto vedi solo.
Let me add it back.
Cari, 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 ma più forte non andrai, il tuo destino è una scommessa persa, la
You hear how everything is controlled now with a little bit more drums, so it's okay. Okay, something like this. Here we are. So this is our final mix, and as you can see, we have got here very fast because it took what, something like 40 minutes, and I was explaining the reasoning behind any choice. If I was just mixing, it would be much faster, even though even because I would have done it differently. Yeah, sometimes those persons with vocals, probably they are just too low in level. So I lift up the whole bass, and if I was saying, if I was mixing this, I would have put ZeroComp on every track that I thought was needed it beforehand. So once I pressed play, all the instances of the compressor would have listened to the audio and been already set when I came to tweak them. So this makes working even faster. And there's not much more to say. It's a pretty easy and simple compressor. It does everything by itself, so you just have to tweak one knob, two knob maybe. So as promised, let me bring back my big face on the screen. As promised, we are going to give you 30% off this plugin just for being here tonight with me. And if you have questions, it's now the time. Otherwise, I can say you goodbye, and see you at the next webinar. Just let me know if you have questions. So sorry, I lost this one. Tectonic asks, nice mix. Have you done any clip gaining? No, no, they are just uh cuts, the rumble, the noise, everything. They have been recorded in the old analog way. So so there is no gain, no editing done inside Reaper. It's just they've been recorded with the compressor on usually. Uh, so it's already a pre-processed sound. So there is a bit of EQ, and in fact, if you look at, for example, the EQ for the kick drum, you see that it's just a couple of correction. So there is really no much, not great EQ moves on the snare drum. You see, it's a little bit more complex, but it's mainly correction made by the auto EQ. So it's not really that complex, and the sound was already there. I just set everything to be in the right spot. Oh, so we have another question. Would it be possible to create a multiband version for the mix bus? Maybe even include H4K model? Sure. This is one of we're going to create a series of Zero plugins. The next one that I'm working on is the Zero Q, and that it actually encapsulates the auto EQ algorithm from Total EQ Mark II and allows you to change the amount of equalization made both in corrective and tonal shaping. And I will make a zero bus, which is exactly what you are requesting. So it's um uh, is the feed is lost. So is the feedback? Do we have any feed? Can you hear me? So I was saying that I will work on the zero bus too, which probably will capture the essence of the H4K bus compressor and 31 um, Mark II that is perfect for bus equalization, and probably a zero master that we will contain a large part of the code from our online mastering system. I don't know if you have tried that, but we have an online mastering system on our website that does almost everything automatically after analyzing the audio, which is the same concept that I'm using in these zero plugins. It analyzes a portion of the audio, and thanks to some machine learning algorithm, it sets the processors, so compressor, equalizer, according to the characteristic of the audio that it learns, to make them sound good. So this is the aim, of course. Uh, if you want to know more, just keep on following us, and we will have some cool new news very soon. Zero Q is almost ready, so we'll see the light of the day very soon. and then I will move on to zero bus. And at the end, you will have a complete zero kind of mixing chain that can let you work very fast. So thank you very much for being with me tonight. And for us, it's night. I don't know where you are, which time of the day is. Have a nice rest of the day and see you next time. Bye, everyone.